It's the last hurrah before the big day. Stories run wild in the craziest way. From Vegas nights to the beach town vibes. We're laughing or party, you're in for a ride.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Drunken Suits. We're a podcast here. We talk about bachelor parties. As you guys know, we talk about different cities, how to plan them, crazy stories. Got all of it for you. Today we got a pretty special one, but I'm one of your hosts, Will Kroboth, and I'm here with...
I'm Bobby Carlson, and I'm really excited about this too. We're not just bachelor parties, though. We're expanding into bachelorette parties, so I want to put that out there. Not that we've had a woman on yet, but after 25 episodes now, we are very prone to saying bachelor party podcast. So bachelorette, absolutely, as well. Anybody's welcome. Today, we have a very fun episode for you guys. You guys see us bundled up here and some goggles on, so maybe you can kind of predict. I got mine on the side. I'm going to keep that going. Yeah. But pretty cool. So we're kind of switching the format up a little bit. We're getting into the winter vibes here. A lot of our fans across the country have gotten snow already. So we thought it'd be a fun episode to talk about. We found a list of 10 different spots that are the ranked for the highest ski and snowboarding slopes in the U.S. And so we're going to see, do they compare on this top 10 list for bachelor and bachelorette parties? I'm excited.
I am too. This is gonna be fun. So what we did was we took the top 10 list, split it in half. So I have half, Bobby has half. We're gonna kind of briefly present to you what these places are all about, and then we're gonna give you our rankings of them. So hopefully, it gives you a good idea of what places you could go if you want to do a bachelor ski or snowboard trip, or even if you're just a fan of the podcast and looking for a place to go skiing. Keep these in mind. But to stay true to the nature of this podcast, Drunken Suits, I think we better first talk about what is unique about a ski snowboard bachelor party trip.
It's a good call. Because I think a lot of bachelor trips, you're not thinking of all that goes into a ski trip. Definitely. So I've never been on a big ski trip other than going up to Vermont. But I have not gone out west. So all of mine are pretty much, just what I understand from my research. But on a ski trip, a lot goes into it because for just one, when you land there, it's going to be cold and there's going to be snow on the ground. Get a car that can handle that if you're going up into the mountains.
Yeah, definitely want to make sure your travel accessibility is all under control. And to that point, so I have been out west a couple times, and another thing to keep in mind on the travel point is, first of all, flights, right? That's kind of always a thing that we have to think about, but how close your ski resort is to an accessible airport or other form of transportation to get there. So if you're close by, different story, but a lot of people are going to be traveling. And that is a factor because some of these places can be 3-4 hours away from an airport, the closest ones.
Did you see that a lot in your research that far?
I did on a few, yeah. I mean,
that's tough.
You probably have some airports that are closer, but I'm thinking more large airports are the ones you're going to want to go to. So
I mean, it makes sense.
Something to keep
What
in
airports
mind.
are landing up in the mountains, right? So it makes sense.
Yeah. I'll throw another one out there then, and I think this is kind of like maybe step one before you even decide if you want to do a bachelor trip as a ski trip, is an assessment of your group's skill level at skiing or snowboarding. First of all, have they ever done it before? If the answer is no, then you really have to think about okay, how athletic is my group? How adventurous are they? Is this something realistically that everyone would want to do? And then if the answer to that question is yes, everybody has gone, now we need to even still think about like, okay, have they gone once or twice? Are they a beginner, or have they gone tons of times and can handle, like blue runs out west, that kind of stuff. So really, really keep that in mind. Skiing and snowboarding is not something that most people are going to pick up just like that. It takes some practice. It takes some skill. So don't think you can just jump right into this. At least for most people.
I mean, think about when you guys started. If you are a good skier and you're like, I don't know, think about when you started. You had bruises up and down your legs. Your feet were aching for the next probably week just from having some big heavy boots on. I mean, I'm a skier. I know those boots can get heavy and they feel it, and your toes are numbing up while your ankles are just throbbing. But it's still so much fun. Don't get me wrong. Skiing trips are so much fun. Skiing all day. But yeah, it takes a lot out of you. So that's definitely something to consider with your group. I think that's a great call out. And then also, I mean, if everybody does ski and, then you're packing all of that extra suitcase, extra whatever, you're bringing snow gear, that takes up a lot of space. It's going to get a little pricey on that end for flying, and then a little bit pricey ski lifts and tickets and lodging. It's typically runs you a good little bill there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the sport in itself is not exactly a cheap one. You also have to consider times of year too. There are surge pricings and that kind of thing. I will say though that the lodging usually isn't too bad. I mean, location dependent, but if you want to get one big huge house for everybody to stay in, that's actually probably going to be one of the cheaper aspects of the trip. So that part is kind of cool, where it's like you guys can just get a huge cabin, or even if you maybe want to do a ski in, ski out, so you're right there real close to the mountain, that would be pretty sweet, I think.
I totally agree with you. I am going to counter that, but I'm going to counter that a little bit when we get into the different spots, because I found some really cool resorts and really cool other options. So, but I just want to throw that out there now. But I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean that's totally understandable. Like it's going to depend on which location you go to, how you want to play that. And then same thing with like the logistics of the skiing. Every single resort's going to operate a little bit differently. Some are going to, have different operating times. Some are going to have night things. Some aren't. Some are going to how the rentals work, this, that, and the other. You're really going to need to do due diligence on those for just the logistics of the actual skiing and snowboarding. As you can tell, I'm the snowboarder, as I keep including snowboarding in it. But gotta represent both sides here.
You hippie.
All right, prep school boy.
That's good. No, that's some fun stuff, and I can't snowboard if my life counted on it. So I make jokes, but holy God.
And I've never done skiing, so I can't either. So it's a fun little rivalry. Fun fact for anybody who doesn't know, like it's just a little rivalry there. Always like to poke fun at one another.
Well, yeah, because snowboarders
okay.
ruin the slopes.
All right. Well, we're not getting into this now. You guys can look on your own. I did just want to throw one other thing out there about things to consider before you decide to do this trip. Consider really like that group that you're with. Do you want a crazy party vibe? Do you want more relaxed, laid back? Not to say that this kind of trip wouldn't fit any of those different styles, but different locations are absolutely going to be tailored one way or the other. And I would say maybe some locations would not be a good fit for a party vibe. And then there'd be some locations that would not be fit for you want a real relaxing, laid back kind of trip.
Absolutely. I think that's pretty good things to think about prior to planning a ski bachelor trip. And now let's dive into where to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we found a credible source to give us the top 10 resorts or ski like mountains and slopes in the U.S. Like we said earlier, I took 5, did my research on them. Crowbot took 5 and did his research on them. And so we're going to break them down. Crowbot, do you want to hit the first slope that you want to talk about?
Yeah. All right, let's jump into it. I I'm gonna go with. Gonna mix up the order here a little bit, just so our viewers have a little bit of suspense at the end. All right, we're gonna
Like it.
start here with Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Okay.
Awesome.
So this one's probably pretty iconic for a lot of people that know it. It has definitely known for its kind of steep terrains, pretty challenging. Of course, they have the famous Corbett's Coulier. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but super challenging. I think they do that weird competition, not weird, pretty cool competition every year there. But then, so kind of more rugged nightlife, right? You're not going to have really a lot of partying kind of thing, but it's going to be more of an adventure energy, is how I noted it. So quick statistics, right? 6,300 feet to the base, and then 10,500 foot peak. The vibe is really just hardcore skiing, and mix that with more of like a cowboy style after skiing atmosphere. Let's see what else. Some of the other interesting points here is that there's pretty expensive lodging here, not too much competition, so it gets a little more expensive. There's a lot of wildlife everywhere as well, and the nightlife is fun, but it's very like raw, not too polished, I guess is a good way to say that. So I would say this would be a good place for maybe like a rugged, adventure heavy kind of group here.
So like ski first, nightlife second group.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again,
Okay.
this one is pretty technical. Wouldn't go here if you were beginners or new intermediates.
Nice.
Had a little
Yeah.
stroke there.
Well, so this is just my brother went there before, and that part that you're talking about, the like kind of famous part, that's that drop in, right? That you're saying, like
Yeah,
where it's like that pretty good drop and pretty
yeah. There's
crazy
like
looking.
two kind of big rock faces with a little like inlet through the middle, and it's real steep through the center.
That's nutty. I mean, like I'm an adrenaline junkie, love that kind of stuff, but like that kind of stuff exactly, that's pushing it a little bit. That's like I would go in a wingsuit any day. Put me on skis. It's a little more dicier. I don't know.
It's one of those where like you watch videos and it looks steep even on a GoPro, so that thing is like crazy.
Yeah, but that's a pretty cool one for that advanced group. That's a pretty cool spot and definitely picturesque too. So it's a cool one. It's good. That's a good first grab.
Yeah. All right, let's see what you got. What's your first one here?
Well, I'm going to start out with Utah, Park City.
Nice.
So yeah, pretty cool one. Park City. It's got 330 trails, 41 lifts. It's the affordability coming in. So I add like affordability, difficulty, lodging, and nightlife, and then some other facts on mine. So the affordability side, lift tickets are pretty high, especially during peak times, and lodging is pretty moderate to high, but you can definitely find a lot of different options, and you can go on a more luxury side if you want. Um, the difficulty, they have different levels for everybody. I would say this is very well rounded with 330 trails. There you'll find enough trails to spend a weekend there and have a great time for all levels. Lodging and nightlife. It's a dense bar and restaurant scene. It's all walkable nightlife from like where you'll be staying. And then there's plenty of ski in and ski out condos, which I think is so freaking cool. And it's a resort town feel. So like the big resorts and everything right in there. You got the whole town around it. So I think that's very cool for it's actually considered the biggest single resort footprint in the US.
I was gonna say I thought this was the largest ski area in the U.S., so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think the party scene goes heavy on the nightlife. There's all these resorts, which resorts you get with amenities, get outside, you get these restaurants, just people coming right off the slopes, going right into them. Pretty cool. Just another little other fact to it then. there's lots of other activities like snowmobiling, tubing, and mountain coaster through here. Now, I want to just put this out there. The stuff we talked about earlier, the safety getting to it and stuff, I don't want to keep repeating that, so I'm not going to. And I think all of mine, there's other things you can do at these mountains. So unless it was like something unique, but like snow tubing and snowmobiling, those are pretty normal at a lot of these resorts and these big mountains. So I just want to throw that out there as well. I think most of mine had those options.
Yeah, that's a good call. I definitely focus more on just like the quality of the skiing and snowboarding, but if there's anything unique, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
One other thing about Park City too, before we go ahead and switch here, that's really close to an airport. That just randomly popped
Yep.
up when I was looking at, so I think that's a big sell. It was like 30 minutes from the close
Yep.
airport, Salt Lake City, I think. So, that's a huge selling point in my mind. Once we get
No.
through
Yep.
some of these where it's 3-4 hours away, it's pretty
That's big.
significant.
That's big time. Yeah. Interesting enough, I did not do the research on the accessibility on all of them, but that's the only one that came up real close to airport, 30 to 45 minutes based on where you stay. So that's a good point. That one, that's a big deal for it.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
All right.
I will
Yeah.
rip another one here. So,
Passing it back.
shout out to the viewers that watched our last episode on Lake Tahoe, because I'm going to be talking about Heavenly.
Very
We
nice.
definitely mentioned this. We mentioned this last episode, so go check that out if you're interested in maybe going to Lake Tahoe as a bachelor trip. We talked about even non-ski and snowboarding options there, but I'm going to be focused just on Heavenly Mountain for right now. So this is on the south side of Lake Tahoe. I think a quick way to sum this up right off the bat would be skiing, casinos, and nightlife, along with the insane views of Lake Tahoe. I think that's pretty cool. Different from pretty much any other resort you're going to go to. In terms of the statistics, 6,200 feet to the base, 10,000 feet to the summit. I would say it's a relatively rowdy location, so you can definitely bring a party-heavy vibe, a group that would like to be there. About an hour away from Reno, so it's not too bad travel-wise. And then the other thing is we talked about it, it's on that California Nevada border. So you have kind of the best of both worlds there, with the gambling in Las Vegas or in Nevada side. I might have said Las Vegas before too, but yeah, Nevada, California. And then just getting to see the view of Lake Tahoe in the wintertime is another beautiful kind of aspect to it. I would say it's definitely cheaper than some of them on the list, but you can get to different expensive sides, so relatively middle of the road. But yeah, I would say if you're looking for that cool mix of, even if you're interested in new casinos and skiing, this is probably the spot for you, but it also has good nightlife.
That's pretty cool. Well, then similarly in my research, I had a Lake Tahoe mountain as well. So I'm just going to piggyback then, because a lot of things that you said kind of correlate. So this is the Palisades Tahoe. So Palisades Tahoe, this is on the California side, and it's going to be on the northern side of Lake Tahoe. So a lot of times when you do your research, you're going to see it combined with the alpine meadows. So when I give these numbers here, I'm going to give two numbers, and one is just the Palisades Tahoe, and then the other one's going to be the combo. So like when I say there's 180 slopes to 280 slopes, that's the combo. There's 26 lifts or there's 39 lifts, so it's a pretty big difference in those sense. Why it's like that is you can get a pass for just the one, or you can get a pass for both.
That's pretty unique. That's cool.
It is. Why is it really separated? It's kind of just the bend of the mountain, but it's not hard to switch from one to the other kind of thing. Is it affordable? It's moderate. It's expensive, mixed. It's the lift tickets, not so crazy. The lodging, there's different tiers of your lodging, different types. difficulty, it's known as a harder slope. So it's more steep and there's terrain. It's great for advanced skiers. The
That's
nightlife.
just
Oh,
quick
sorry.
jumping
Yeah.
back. I don't know if I mentioned that. I think Heavenly, the one I just talked about, has it's not going to get as advanced areas there, so maybe
Mm.
more on the beginner side. But
Well,
continue.
that's good to
Thank you for
know.
bringing
Yeah,
that
if you
up.
wanted to go there. No, yeah, that's good because I think that's important too. Like we said, when you're making those assessments early on, you want to understand the mountainside. Can it handle? Can we handle? Yeah, so more steep, more terrain. Nightlife. You'd be staying in Olympic Valley when you would stay here. That's where the restaurants and bars are. But then there is Truckee and Tahoe City, which you can expand your nightlife scene. And then there's the casinos if you're willing to drive for them and stuff. But again, you're on the north end, so it's very different. You're on the California side, you'd be driving into Nevada. So what kind of bachelor group is it good for? Uh, it's good for like somebody that wants the challenge during the day and maybe not the highest energy nightlife kind of area. The options are there. Like you wanted to make the drive to the casino and have that nightlife, but if you're really just picking like I want good skiing, really tough and get my skiing in, then we can kind of decide at night. I think this would be a good spot.
I like that. It has a little bit of hybrid because has that proximity to the south side of Lake
Mm-hmm.
Tahoe. That's kind of cool. Um, I remember
And then just
looking at that on Lake Tahoe and just Olympic level skiers are training here, so that's pretty cool.
well, that was going to be my
Oh, I'm
next
sorry.
other. No, my other little just fact: in the 1960 Olympics were hosted there.
Oh, okay, that's pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
so yeah, pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's not too many U.S. cities I feel like that are usually hosting those Olympics, so
yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
yeah. There you go. I mean, if you're staying in Olympic Valley, I guess that makes sense too, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Fair enough.
All right, passing it back to you then.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to talk about this is actually interesting because I have been to this one before. Is
Ooh,
Breckenridge, Colorado,
Breckenridge.
aka Breck. Everybody loves to call it Breck.
I'm going to Breck.
Yeah, I mean, I can attest this is a pretty awesome mountain. This is the largest one I've ever been to. So for my frame of reference, it's huge. It
Huge.
has huge, but I would say it has a pretty big party scene. You have before we even get in the mountain, this is one of the bigger partying scene. One of them. You have tons of bars and this huge main street that has and lots of different options of restaurants, bars, breweries, that kind of stuff. And it's actually relatively historic too. I think it was an old mining town, so that side of it's kind of cool. And then I would say the skiing's really great too. You have um, almost 3,000 acres, and I would say it kind of goes from one side of the mountain to the other. It's relatively easy on like the one peaks over here, and then as you get to the other side, you get to a lot more difficult stuff. So it's nice that it almost separates them, and you have that different challenge level. If your group is maybe a mix of different challenge levels, you could still get away with this because half of the mountain is, yeah, and there's a gradient on the mountain, I would say. 10,000 foot base, 13,000 foot summit. This is definitely young, lively, and I would say on the more affordable side of these different options we're putting out there. You're about an hour and a half away from Denver for the drive. And then why is it great for a bachelor party? So it has tons of bars. It has the late night atmosphere. Um, it has a lot of lodging different options from cabins to condos to ski and ski out resorts. And for the most part, relatively easy travel to Denver. So um, I even noted here there's a shuttle system from Denver to Breck because it is such a popular commute, even though it is like an
Great.
hour and a half. Yeah. Downside being that this is a really popular spot. It can be pretty crowded. Obviously, you're going to have the different price surges as well. So
Sure.
I would say this is one of the better affordable and rowdy options to go to from our list.
Sounds like it. I'm like, from what we've said so far, that sounded pretty good. Bang for your buck, rowdy and slope. So just
Yep.
putting that in mind now. Don't wanna.
Don't let it influence you.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's big. It's huge.
All
I've
right,
seen
what's your
many
next one?
slopes, but this one's huge. All right, my next one. I'm going for the money. I'm taking it to Vail, Colorado.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So this is luxury. Okay, this is 193 trails. And what it's really known for are the big bowl skiings and long verticals. So, to the viewer that doesn't know skiing or maybe the terminology here, a big bowl is where you'll have almost like a volcano indent into a mountain where you'll have multiple drop-in locations all coming into like a center point, and that center point usually then will have a lift going back up. But there's many different spots. A lot of times too, I'm not sure so much with Vail, but a lot of bowl locations you'll walk it like to where you want to drop in kind of thing. But they're known for their big bowls, and it's very cool there. The affordability, yeah, big bowls. The affordability, it's very high end. The lifts, dining, and lodging, all very expensive. All luxury packages. You're paying. You're probably gonna, I would think, pay the most going to Vail than any other place on our list.
I
It's
think that
very luxury.
I think that kind of checks out. I mean, I think when you think of luxury resort for skiing, you think of Vail, right? Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong. That's what I think of first. But
definitely. Maybe. Do you have Aspen?
yeah, I was gonna be the other
All
one.
right. I'm interested to hear about that and maybe how it would compare to Vail, because what I don't I hear Aspen and I think maybe probably a little bit more party, and Vail a little bit more expensive, but I'm interested to hear about it later. But just to keep going on Vail, the difficulty now, they have a wide variety. Again, maybe not so like Utah, the Park City had 330 slopes. This has 193, so that's a big difference. But there is a wide variety. It's known for more advanced terrain, and their back bowls, their famous back bowls. Um, so, who's good to go here? Stronger skiers to advanced to expert skiers. Nightlife. It's very upscale and lively, but very upscale. They do have some bars and clubs and a prees,
A price? I don't really
a
know either.
pris.
Sure.
You know it's upscale when you're saying a pris. I'm going to the pris. Like, come on now, come on. It's a bar. It's a little restaurant bar, but also the resorts there, a lot of amenities, but also lots of money.
Yeah, I think a price became. I don't know if it was because of Vail, but I want to say maybe it was. It kind of has become
Hmm.
like a what is that? Like almost a mocking term now. When you're at other mountains, we're like using it in context to mock like the higher end upscale. So
I
that's kind
like
of
that.
funny.
That's funny. Yeah, that's very funny. That's
Um,
what I had for Vail. Big bowls, big money.
I love it. So you mentioned what you said it was 119 versus how 350 or
193.
something.
Yeah,
193 versus like
193. Yeah.
300 plus. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make a note there that like okay, for those of you maybe not too familiar, 193 is still a ton of
Yeah.
trails. Like you probably if you're going for a 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend, you're probably not even going to be able to hit all of them the entire
No.
time you're there. Maybe not even half, right? Like that's a lot of trails still, but it does help you get a better picture of the entire scope. So, just wanted to throw that out there. All right, and then since you mentioned Aspen, I'll just jump over. We'll talk about that one next year.
Cool.
So Aspen or Snowmass is in Colorado. It's actually a combination of 4 resorts. So that really kind of
Hmm.
plays in here. You have Aspen Mountain, Highlands, Snowmass, and Buttermilk. Um, I think that this might be a real strong case because it has that 4 separate mountains. We talked about how the luxury. This is a lot of luxury lodging um, and nightlife options, but it also has a big like party vibe and reputation to it. Um, Especially like nightlife. You kind of think of when skiing, you think of Aspen. Like they've had themed parties along the lines of Aspen, right? Um, and then I would say it's almost like near perfect terrain as well. So 8,000 foot base, 12,500 foot summit, 5,500 total acres. That is across all 4 of the different mountains, but that's a
Okay.
huge amount of space. I
That's
unfortunately
a
didn't grab.
lot.
Yeah, I didn't grab the number of runs, but I'm sure it's got to be up on the higher end of this comparison list.
I would think so. A
Um,
lot of these 300 plus ones I was seeing was like 3,000 to 4,000 acres. So I mean, you're talking about another 1,500 more. That's a ton.
Yeah, so that's pretty significant. Overall vibe, I would say this is luxury, elite nightlife, um, high end dining, but also high end skiing, and then mix in the partying a little bit too. It's almost like a jack of all trades, but it's not going to be super affordable. This is going to be a pretty expensive location because everything there is pretty high end for the most part. Let's see. You know, I think it also an underrated aspect of it is it just kind of has like some stunning views. I guess that was
Mm.
something you could probably say that about everyone on this list, but I kept seeing people noting that this is the location just stunning. Um,
Mm.
and then talk about the town a little bit more. Very walkable, um, kind of boutique type of town. So, I would say that this is almost like a Vegas in the mountains kind of style, if that makes any sense. You have that the upscale Vegas, right? The higher end, but you can easily get into some crazy party stuff and spend a lot of money too if you want to.
I would have thought that would have been your last one with the casinos.
So, yeah, I guess maybe Vegas. Yeah, well, we could discuss that, but that's a good point. Maybe need to reassess here.
Maybe. No, I wasn't trying to downplay. I mean, I haven't done the research on it, so just from hearing what you're saying, it seems more, I don't know, more cool. But all I know about Aspen is like from movies, and you hear like the '80s Aspen, like that was always the theme in college. You get your neons on,
Yep.
right, and go, or like you watch Hot Tub Time Machine, and it's a big freaking party and festival, and they're all in their neon skiing and stuff. Like it's, I don't know, it seems like a party spot for sure. At least
It is.
like
Yeah.
the in my head, if I wanted a party ski spot, I would think I'm going to Aspen, Colorado.
Yeah. And I mean, even there's like known celebrity sightings here relatively often.
Hmm,
Um, right. So you have that. And then you also have the partying side that it has like both of those reputations combined into one.
nice. That's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I got another cool one. If you got any more facts about it, though. All right, let's
No,
pass
let's
it
hear
back
it.
to me. Well, you said picturesque, so I'm gonna go to my picturesque one, which is Big Sky, Montana. So Big Sky, Montana, it's got 300 plus named trails. It's got 30 to 45 lifts or so. Affordability side, it's moderate to high. Um, the condos and lodges can, differ again and put it to that high end, but pretty much pretty moderate pricing through and through. But you can go definitely expensive. The difficulty, lots of advanced and expert terrain, plus like very long cruises. So with this big sky, so you're getting a lot of mountain here, with long rides. So they, as much as they have the advanced and expert terrain, and they're very known for their terrain here. There is easier trails, long trails, stuff that you can, really play it out. Um, but I mean, you're skiing above the clouds here, which is so freaking cool. The pictures here, we'll throw obviously a lot up here on the screens as we're talking, but absolutely just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So they even say that here. I wrote it down a bunch of times here, but so lodging and nightlife. Then it is pretty quiet. There's Mountain Village. It has bars and restaurants, but a quieter. It's like way quieter than like Park City or Vale. There is Bozeman, which is a 45 to 60-minute drive, which gives you nightlife. Again, you want to make the trip? Sure, absolutely. I would think after these long mountains, you're going to be tired through the day, but that's up to your group. So just putting it out there. What batch group is good for this? Ones that like the soft crowds. They like big terrains. They like more mountain. And then this is huge again for mountain picks and less crowded experience. So this is really just ski first, party second, quieter nights. It's just going for the skiing.
I think I saw something where it said it was the least crowded mountain in the U.S. for the amount of people, or I mean, like the amount of acres.
That
So
makes
that's
sense.
for some people that's going to be a huge selling point because there's nothing worse than getting down after a run and then having to sit in a long ski lift line and wait to get back. So you combine not having a lot of
Absolutely
people.
worst.
You combine not having a lot of people with like these super long runs, like that's going to be a lot of fun. But like you said,
Gorgeous.
probably pretty tiring.
Yeah. I think though also the lifts are like a lot of the gondola lifts and a lot of the like longer ones that it'll take you in almost like the same amount, not the same amount of time, but like take you up the mountain. It takes a good bit.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, man. Maybe it's my old age, but those gondolas are nice. Like I don't mind a ski lift or a lift and all that, but the gondolas you get to sit down and inside and close is pretty nice.
That is nice. I mean, I have not been on a gondola other than Killington, which was like pretty short in the sense. But like some of these places, I bet like the views are insane if you don't fog up the windows and stuff. So yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah, actually, I mean that would have been an interesting thing. I'm just thinking about this just right now, but places that do have gondolas and don't, because one that you're going to talk about in a second here does have a gondola, which is where I went on one, and then like Breckenridge, that whole mountain doesn't have one, which is you would
Hmm.
think for how big these mountains are and how kind of prestigious everyone is on this list, they all would, but is not the case.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is interesting. Do
So
some shooters with the boys on the bachelor trip in the gondola. That's
yeah,
a that's a that's a moment to remember.
that's a picture and that's a moment, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's actually that sounds like a lot of fun. Gondola with the boys. That's
Oh yeah,
dangerous.
for sure, for sure. All right, I'm gonna jump in here then with my last of my five. And again, good transition here because you were talking about picturesque. This is another picturesque, stunning scenery view place, Telluride, Colorado. Um, this place is, like I said, very stunning scenery, elite skiing, and classy nightlife. Um, I think you're gonna have a lot of high end things. This is gonna be on the more expensive side, but it's going to be more relaxed
Hmm.
than some of these other places that have reputations being a little more uppity. This place is not quite that. Um, in terms of the mountain itself, you have about 2,000 acres of skiing. So actually a little bit smaller than some of these other places we're talking about, but still absolutely massive. Um, oh, one cool thing too, they have a gondola. So we did talk. I have one mentioned once
Yeah, you
here.
said
There's a
that.
free gondola that connects from like the mountain to the town area. So that's pretty sweet. You don't even have to like really make that connection between from the
Yeah,
living area and the town to get to the mountain. It's like kind of right there.
that's so sick.
Yeah. Um, it's known for having some great bars. One primary example would be the Lost Dollar Saloon. And then another unique aspect that not all of these have is heli skiing. So getting in a helicopter and going getting dropped
Whoa,
off. Yeah. So
that's some
that's
craziness.
you've seen those maybe in movies, but yeah, absolutely going to be very expensive, but also
Or
not
like
a
Red
common thing
Bull.
that a lot of these places have. Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah. Jeez, that's
um,
crazy.
yeah, so this is kind of like Aspen quality skiing, um, and nightlife, but maybe not as uppity, and then not really as much like rowdy party atmosphere.
Yeah, we've done a couple Colorado now, a couple Utah, one Montana. It's pretty good.
Yeah, a couple Californias you said we
Oh,
had,
California. Yep.
Nevada you said. So what that leaves
Yeah,
us with your last one, is that correct?
that is. And we are in Colorado again,
All right.
which is says a lot about Colorado. Pretty cool. We are at Steamboat. I think this is a good one for you. I know you're excited about this one.
Yeah. So this is the place I was referring to earlier that I have been on a gondola, but take it away.
So Steamboat, it's 182 trails. It's known for tree skiing and champagne powder.
The Champagne Pow.
Yeah, champagne pow pow. uh, I had to look it up because I didn't know necessarily what champagne powder was. Kind of sounded like cocaine, but it's not. It's not. Uh, I don't know if I can say that on here. I don't know, but it's not. It's not that. I just thought it maybe. Um, but what is champagne powder then? So it is the this is just a quick little geo lesson for you. The water that gets picked up from the Pacific and gets kind of dumped onto the mountains lessens and lessens, and once it reaches Steamboat, it makes this it's less dense with the water, which makes the flakes of like snowflakes larger with more air in it, and makes it like a fluffier snow, which is like ideal for skiing. And they get so much of it that you're kind of going in a cloud. They say it sounds like it's really forgiving for newer skiers, and it for like anybody else, it kind of just feels like you're floating, which is very very cool. So, what else does it have? The affordability. It's very moderate pricing. It's comparative to the other ones I've said. It's very, very comparative on the moderate side. Very good. Um, so I feel like all of these spike on holidays, spikes on your crazy season nights, but it's very moderate. The nightlife there, it's good, but the town is a little bit more mellow. Steamboat Springs is the town that you would go there and stay in. It's got pubs, it's got bars, and there's a real cool Western cowboy vibe to the town. Um, like saloon esque and cowboy and just Western. So I thought that was pretty unique to it, especially when you're skiing, you get to see something else pretty cool. Also, so we were talking about unique daytime other than just skiing too. Steamboat is known for having these hot springs. So this, I was like, oh, this went up in my rating because you get sore day one from skiing. Your whole group is like, dude, I don't know about going out again. Send it to a hot spring. They are in the woods surrounding. You can drive up to them. the temperature of the water is like 102 to 104, depending on which one you go to. And after dark, it's clothing optional. Found that one out in some research. But that's just what I had. Steamboat, it seems like these trails too, and the tree skiing, it's not all tree, but there's a lot of pass through trees. That's where you get a little bit more advanced skiing, but there's plenty of different trails and different levels that you can go on. So Steamboat, pretty cool. Colorado, big trails, like good powder, good affordability, and has cool down or steam up, whatever. So pretty cool.
I like that. Cool down or steam up.
Yeah.
That is such an underrated aspect too. I'll tell you what is, even if you're not any of these places, right? Even if it's not Steamboat, I think an underrated thing you want to look for is like hot tubs that you can get into after a day of skiing. Nothing hits harder than doing a full day and then getting back, jumping right into a hot tub for like an hour before you get out, get some dinner, maybe go out for the night. That's going to change how sore
Huge.
you are the next day. Yeah, it's going to help so
Yeah.
much.
Or
So,
is it the hangover cure too? Like I just need like 20 minutes in a hot tub or like a hot spring. That would
Could
cure
be.
me, I think.
Could be the move, That's I don't know. There might not be too many things that's worse than being like if you were very hungover than trying to go skiing.
Oh god.
That's just not the move.
I think you go tips down and you go hands on your knees and you just go the whole way down until you hit something.
It might feel better than the hangover feels when you finally stop.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, well, that's what I had for Steamboat.
Yeah.
That's a solid 10 list. I think any of these would be pretty cool for a bachelor trip, and I think we've kind of distinguished between the different ones, and I'm ready to give down my breakdown of the 5, just a quick little glance at each one and my numbers, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. So I'm going to start from the bottom and go to the top, as one does.
As one does.
All right. So my last place was Palisades. Palisades, it's advanced terrain. You have your Tahoe casinos, which is a drive. It's more of adventure nightlife, but the village is more subdued. I gave it an 8.1 for the bachelor trip. If you're going on a ski trip, you get your skiing and you get some good skiing in there, but it doesn't offer a whole lot more. Okay, number 2, Big Sky, Montana. This is hard to put at 2, or like the second to last one. It's a mountain first area, right? So there's not much going on nightlife. Big mountain skiing, quieter nights, ski first, party second. So very, very cool mountain. Absolutely gorgeous. Second in the rating. Second to last. Number 3, Vail, Colorado. Yeah, that's gonna ruffle some feathers there.
Okay.
I have that down as a, what did I say was Big Sky?
Yeah, so you said
give it
Palisades, Big
8.2?
Sky, Vale.
I don't know if I gave Big Sky a rating, but Vail 8.2. I think it's kind of tied, but with Big Sky, but it's a little, maybe Vail's a little bit higher, but it's got these legendary bowls to it, but the upscale and price to it, it kind of seems like the name means more than the atmosphere to me. I think just saying I ski at Vail is like instead of like, oh, that's so sick, like that's the coolest thing ever. It's like, yeah, it's cool and it's got a lot of stuff to offer. I think it's just you're kind of saying my wallet's bigger. That's all. So that's why it's a little bit less in my books. I think you can go to really cool ski spots for a bachelor trip without having to spend it at Vail. My next one, Steamboat. Steamboat, great snow. It's got the hot springs. It's got the uniqueness to it, and the Western bar scenes. I think it with that kind of combo, that could be pretty fun ski trip. Great for a bachelor trip. And my number one is Park City. That's the one I started out with. 9.1, easy access, big terrain, best nightlife and restaurants comparative to the other ones, and it's just the most well-rounded area for the bachelor trip. That is
Yeah.
my 5, and that's the list. I give it bottom to top.
I knew Park City had to be number one out of the list of the 5 that you had. So I would
Cool one.
I would have agreed. Pretty much might switch like where Big Sky and Steamboat were, but I like the ratings. I like the listing. So
Okay.
for my 5,
Yes.
I'm gonna start out with the lowest rated one as well, and that's gonna be Telluride. Um, I think it has, a lot to offer. It's so hard ranking any of these as the lowest because I would love to go to any one of these resorts.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, let's just
but
mention again, these are the 10 best in the US. These aren't bad ones by any means. They're just the 10 best, so there has to be a bottom of that 10. So keep going.
exactly. So, with that being said, Telluride is, I think it's like Aspen, but on just everything's a little diet down. Um, and then, just with that in mind, it is still pretty expensive. So um, I put that one at the bottom spot here. I didn't get into all the ratings things, but that one's gonna take the bottom spot. So then next I'm gonna go to, now this one might be, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this, but I'm gonna go Heavenly as the second.
Okay.
Um, so this is the Lake Tahoe one again, California, Nevada, state line. I think that this would be a lot of fun. The casino aspect is pretty interesting. Um, the clubbing, the skiing, but I don't know. I just think it has all of these things, but I don't know if necessarily any single one of them is like great. And this being a ski bachelor party, I don't know that that's going to take the cake. I think if you're interested in it for the other reasons, go check out the last episode again. Shout out.
Yeah.
But strictly skiing and snowboarding here, that's where I'm going to put it.
Dude, I'm dogged after skiing, so I get not wanting to go crazy nightlife or all nighters. Going out to a dinner or something that sounds fun or whatnot or anything, but I get it. I totally get it what you're saying on that. But
Yeah,
for the nightlife scenes, that's a pretty cool one.
it absolutely is. But I think when you see the next 3 that I have to rank, you'll understand why.
Yeah,
The next
I'm
one
taking
I'm
my
gonna
guess now. Taking my guess now. You're number one. I think you're bricked up for Burke. Burke.
Breck. No,
Breck.
nope,
Breck. Oh, I messed it up. Bricked up for Breck. That's what I was gonna say.
nope, 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 nope.
Okay.
It's gonna. I guess this next one's gonna give it away, but the next one I'm gonna put Jackson Hole. So Jackson Hole in
Okay.
Wyoming. I think that the terrain here is, borderline unbeatable. Would love to go check this out. The Corbett's Collier, all of that seems really awesome. But that is the only reason you're going, is if you're an advanced skier or snowboarder and want to see some crazy terrain. The nightlife,
Yeah.
very, very rugged. You'd have to have a very adventurous group. There's not too much else to do, but just the name, notoriety, and just how known for the skill that it is at this place, I'm going to give it that 3 spot.
Okay.
And so, like I said, the 4th one here, or the second best, is going to be Breckenridge, Colorado here. Like, I have been here. I like it a lot. It is a great place. Has a little bit of rowdy atmosphere. Has some pretty great skiing, I would say, and easy access to Denver. Not too far away. Can be a little crowded, so that played into the factoring of the ratings here. And I mean, it is pretty affordable too. I would say this is one of the most bang for your buck options of probably the whole list that we mentioned.
Mhm.
Um,
And
So then
it
that
sounded
leaves me.
very well rounded. It's like just hearing everything that you told me about it. It sounded so well rounded that I really thought that was going to set it. But okay, let's hear it, baby. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it is really well-rounded. I'm trying to give a big picture here, but number 1 or number 5, I guess the best one that I'm going to rank here is Aspen. I mean, this is what people think of when you think of, just skiing. First thing you think of is the 80s Aspen theme you said with the neon and all of that, right? It has the 4 resorts all in one, and it has the luxury, and it has the nightlife, and it has the crazy partying. I It has the skillful terrain and the just more chill terrain. Like I just don't know how you beat it. Only downside here I would say is probably the price, and that's about it. I mean, 4 hours from Denver is a lot, but I think that trip to get there is going to be well worth it. This is going to be my number 1 spot. And
I
I
like
would
it.
say, comparing them, I think I might put Aspen over Park City even.
Wow. Wow. I
That
don't
would be a
know.
tough
I don't
one.
know. I feel like after everything we heard, I would love to hear what the like leave in the comments, please, of everyone that we heard. What do you guys think the 10 list should be? So we gave you our 5 and our 5. How would they mix together? I would love to hear that. What do you guys think? Have anybody been there? We want the story, so please let us know.
You know
This
what?
10,
Why
it
don't
could
we
really switch up.
why don't we pop up our rankings of our 10 after hearing this? So we'll just pop it up on the screen right here. We'll rank both of them, and then you guys can compare what
Yeah.
what you think to what our lists are.
Yeah, and it's for a bachelor party, remember.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So with
I
that
do
with that being
have
said, oh, yep, that's where I was going. Go for it.
okay. All right, cool. I think we both were thinking we both have some honorable mentions.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll take I have 4 honorable mentions, and it's basically just like 1 or maybe 2 reasons why it is an honorable mention. So I'll take Mammoth Mountain. Mammoth Mountain, it's a very big party scene on weekends. A lot of people on the weekends will travel there. It seems like that would be a lot of fun for a bachelor trip.
Sweet. I'm gonna go with, and gonna take it before you take it, Mount Bachelor, because we are a bachelor party podcast. You didn't even have that one. Come on.
Oh no,
Uh,
I did. I'm mad you
oh,
took it.
okay. Yeah. So Mount Bachelor, Oregon. Um, Picked it mainly just because of the name, but looking into it, it has a really cool beer culture. So we talked about Eugene, not too far away from there, in Bend, Oregon, has a huge beer culture and some pretty cool volcano terrain. So it's pretty affordable, brewery heavy, adventure group, I would say.
It's actually in the rankings of one of the best craft beer and bar cities in the U.S. So that says a
Yeah.
lot right there in Bend. Very nice. I'm going to take, let's bring it to the East Coast. I'm taking Killington, Vermont.
Oh man, that was one of
Yeah.
mine.
Okay. All right. And here's why. The access road going to the Bottom Base Lodge is a strip of bars, lodges, and clubs. At night, this is where people are going on a bachelor trip, and you want to have that nightlife, but you don't really want to go far. This could be a good one, and I think it's ranked pretty highly on East Coast skiing.
I was gonna say we have to show the East Coast some love. Everything we've talked about has been out west. Out west
Yep,
is gonna have much better quality skiing. I will say that. But if you're gonna go East Coast, this is probably my number 1 spot that I
yep,
would want to go to.
agreed.
All right. Well, that was one of mine. So here we'll jump over, and I'm gonna go to Taos Ski Valley in New Mexico. This is the only really kind of culturally influenced one, I would say. It has a resort that is blended with the American alpine kind of uh, vibe with the Native American and Southwestern cultures. So, um, it's kind of artsy. Skiing is very kind of difficult, but it's cultural and unique as well. If that's something your group is interested in.
I like it. Well, I'm going to take my last one then. Big Bear on party weekend, they call it. So they have one weekend's party weekend. I think a lot of their weekends are very party-esque, but there's one that's called Party Weekend. It's really not about skiing. The mountain itself isn't really an elite skiing area at all, but the party there is elite, and that's fun for a bachelor trip, especially if you're, not so great at skiing and you want to just party. This sounds like a fun one. So honorable mention.
I love it. I love it. I'm gonna go a little 2-for-1, and get Keystone, Colorado, and Copper Mountain, Colorado. And I'm just gonna, I'm not even gonna talk too much about them. I'm just gonna mention that Keystone, Copper, and Breckenridge are all within a very short distance from one another, so that could be an option if your group likes a lot of different variety. I believe Copper is known a little bit more for its like parks, and then Keystone is known maybe for a little bit of like more family friendly, or I might be having them flipped, but
Nice.
just different vibes in all three, but they're really close to each other.
Nice. I'm out on honorable mentions. Do you have any more?
Nope, that's all I got. So, you guys got some good ones to look into. I'm sure there's many more out there. If you have a favorite that we didn't talk about, drop a comment, let us know. If there's a different place you want us to talk about, also drop a comment and let us know.
And if you like this style of episode, ranking different places, we have different ideas. For example, I really want to do a golf one. I want to learn about different courses and what's maybe, offers the best for bachelor parties, most like group friendly, or maybe even different games for golf around like how do you include everybody, as in like, a bear or spoiler, whatever it may be. So if you guys want to hear stuff like that, or if you have an idea of your own, please let us know. If you guys have a story of how you guys set up a golf trip, a ski trip, or whatever, let us know. We want to hear it. Your story should be told. Bachelor, bachelorette, does not matter. We want you guys on here. We have so much fun doing this. We hope you guys have fun listening, and we are so excited to keep going here. We're almost at a year.
That's big. It's big. We're coming up on a year. We're going to have to do something a little fun for that. But as always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share if you feel so inclined. It does help us out. And if nothing else, it fires us up, gets us really excited. So, thank you all again. We do appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
It's the last hurrah before the big day. Stories run wild in the craziest way. From Vegas nights to the beach town vibes.